Hey, good afternoon, Top fans. Bill from TopFanRivalry here once again with another edition of a smaller clubhouse. I got a friend of mine named Chris in the clubhouse right now, and he runs a talk show that I've been on, Sports Sunday on KOCI. I've been a guest on that a few times. Chris, thanks for joining me this afternoon.
Of course. Thank you, Bill. As always. I mean, always fun. I know you're a fellow Dodger fan too, so we have that in common. But great
Woo!
baseball to be talked today for sure.
Yes, yes. I invited Chris on today because there is so much going on with the last 30 days of the season, or the last, I should say 30 days, 30 games or so of the season. Um, and Chris is an avid baseball fan, great Dodger fan, so you know that he's got a sound mind. But Chris and I have had many discussions about baseball, and I wanted to have him on. So, Chris, I appreciate it. Let's talk some freaking baseball. It's the end of the season, baby.
Where do we
Woo!
start? Where
We
do we
got there.
start? Yeah.
We got there. So first,
Yeah.
let's just talk about divisions. Pretty much runaways, right?
hmm For the
Everybody's on
most
the
part,
runaway,
yeah.
except for which divisions?
That's the NL West. And I would say both West divisions, honestly. The A's hot team always seem to cook up over in September and then October as well, too. So on their tail, but obviously the story of the year, it seems like, is the San Francisco Giants and the Dodgers half a game back. I believe that game starts in a couple hours now. And so we'll
Yeah,
see how that goes. But yeah, exciting stuff.
exciting stuff. Any surprises for the division? Any surprises? If you
Of
were to rewind the clock, and top fans, if you haven't seen it, there's a YouTube where I make the predictions. But if you were to rewind the clock and go back to the last day of spring training, and you see now what you see, any surprises?
Yes, I think in the NL Central, I really was high on the Cardinals, especially getting Arenado. I did not think they would be a 500 team ish. And then the Reds being where they are in the wild card. And of course, I don't think most people would say the Brewers would be leading by 10 and a half games at this point. But I know that they have a solid squad, but it's actually really been other names besides Christian Yelich has getting the job done. You have the rotation there. Those three guys are the three-headed monster, all of them sub 250 ERAs. Avisail Garcia leads the offense in every single category too. So I would say the Milwaukee Brewers are the most surprising team in the National League, at least. And then I didn't think the Rays could replicate what they did, but that front office, that GM, they get it done every single year. Can't count them out. They're competing with the three other best teams in the American League. So Rays and Brewers, I would say, are the two teams really sticking out to me.
Amen. I have to tell you, so prediction wise, I thought the Bronx Bombers would take the AL East. I thought with that freaking lineup, and then everything they did at the trade deadline. Unfortunately, they've lost four in a row, and Tampa Bay's won nine in a row. So I mean, they've spread themselves out from the division a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I predicted the White Sox would do what they were doing. They got a great squad.
Of course.
I actually thought the Angels would do much, much better than they did. Oh
Mm-hmm.
man, I did not expect them, especially with Shohei being healthy all season and doing what he's doing. Man, I thought for sure they'd have a shot at it, but
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be lucky to stay 500.
Disappointing for sure with the Angels. And I would say I would diagnose that with the injury bug. You have Mike Trout out for almost the whole season. Rendon went out right before the All-Star break as well. And then Otani having the year he has is just one. It just goes to show you baseball, one person can't get it done himself, even if he's playing on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, yeah, and the Angels have tried this, right? They've had
Mm-hmm.
Mike Trout for years. They've tried to do the one horse, thing, and they're just not getting there. They're just not getting there. Um, the Milwaukee Brewers and the San Francisco Giants are the most surprising to me. I thought the Reds would win that division. See, nobody talks about the Reds
Mm-hmm.
because it's always the Cardinals or the Cubs, right?
Right.
Nobody's talking about the Reds, but the Reds, if you look at their offense, and Joey V's getting it done, and ain't nobody
Absolutely.
talking about this guy, but this guy could end his career because he's still got a few years on that contract. He could end his career with 450 home runs and 2,500 hits, and nobody's talking about it.
Absolutely. I think one of the more criminally underrated players in MLB history almost. You go back, I mean, won the MVP in 2010 and then just been with that a lifer over there in Cincinnati. I just think didn't win the geographical lottery over there and like their fan base is middle of the pack, I would say. But I think the team, if you're thinking in terms of 2021, You have the NL Rookie of the Year, in my opinion, Jonathan India. He's been doing great stuff. They picked up Castellanos in the offseason a couple of years back too. Been really good for them. And then, of course, like you said, Votto, just the mode of consistency there. No
Yeah.
complaints from me. I think he's a Hall of Famer. I've had
Yeah.
that discussion on my show before. I think it's a no-brainer. Just what he's been able to produce year in, year out. I think he only has 4 to 5 All-Star games to show for it, but that's part of that underrated aspect.
Yeah, and he plays a position where, he's always had people that are at that position that are so doggone good, right? And everybody just always overlooks them. Going back to the Todd Helton days when he was first coming up, and Todd Helton was over at first base. So the WC
First
race,
base as well,
right?
yeah.
Oh my word. Is this WC race getting hot, or what?
Well, National League, I'm comfortable as a Dodger fan because I know I have like a 13-game lead, even if we don't win the division. But you look after the Dodgers, and then it's just, where does it go? Because like you said, I honestly think there's only 3 teams in contention, really. The Padres, Reds, Cardinals. I know I would say 4 with the Phillies, but the Mets 5 games back at this point, and with all the media coverage they're getting for all the wrong reasons right now.
Yes, all the wrong reasons.
I don't think they deserve it, and I don't think the team has it in them now. And who knows? I don't even know what the case is with DeGrom at this point. But without him, I don't think they make that 5-game push. No, not going to happen.
The only reason why I would say there's any shot for the Mets is because you play so much divisional play at the end of the season. And so at least the Phillies are in their division. And if they're beating up on each other, I mean, it just gets crazy, right? It's all kinds of nuts. So but I agree with you. So everybody's counting out Philadelphia. Don't count them out yet. Don't count them out.
And you could even say for the division too, because last night we saw Ozzy Albies, another Atlanta superstar. He had that knee injury, and I don't think any tests have been done yet, but without him for the next 3 weeks, Atlanta could just free fall. And then you could have an upset in that division. And then of course, Atlanta would go to the wild card and probably lose if they're going that bad. But I do think the Phillies, and then Bryce Harper, I think, has made some headlines as a National League MVP candidate. And I think he deserves that. Obviously, I would say one of the most hated players and one of the most ridiculed for no reason, really stepped up this year. And I think they deserve that. I would want to see them in the playoffs again as a Dodger fan, kind of get that revenge there. They beat up on us in like the late 2000s. So I would love to see that too.
Yeah, and the funny thing is if you look at the run differential for the 3 teams that are in contention for that wild card spot that aren't in it yet, they're all negative.
Yeah,
right?
it's a great point.
St. Louis, -11, Philly, -8, Mets, -25. Where the Dodgers, who have that wild card spot, that first wild card spot, are +212.
+212. It's
212.
It's not even close. And then the next closest, you have the Padres, who are 13 games back, +68. So obviously, I think whoever would win that is going to get absolutely trampled by either the Dodgers or Giants. It's just one of those cases, and you see it every now and then when the 2 best teams in the league play in the same division. Just how Major League Baseball is set up, one has to play in the wild card.
Yeah. And before we get off and go to the American League, we have an interesting scenario that could very well, and I think it's going to happen. But we have an interesting scenario where you could have 2 teams win over 100 games, and one of them plays in the wild card game.
Yeah,
between San Francisco and LA.
That's right. So Dodgers, they have 16 games to get to that point. I think they're gonna have like a high 90s. I would say, like, what do we have now? 4 weeks left in the season. So you add off days. That's gonna be like they have like 25. No, they could win 25. Or 16 of 25.
Yeah. So right now they're 84 and 49, right? And so that means they've played 133 games. Means they got 29 left to play. Uh, 16 out of 29,
That's
probably.
like, yeah,
They're
that's light
not
work
they're
for the
not going to go
Dodgers.
16 and 13. Especially I think they've got 6 games with Arizona
Yeah.
and 6 with Colorado or something like that.
Rocky. Yeah. We do
And
play. I think the toughest thing is we do play the Brewers. And like we've seen them beat up on the Giants actually, and that's helped us in the standings. But like you said, I think a lot of divisional play, and it always helps when we go over to Dodger Stadium too over in Arizona.
yeah,
But I think you're right on that. I do think the Dodgers will definitely get to 100 now that you
the
put it that
Dodger
way.
Stadium of Phoenix, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Hey, if the Angels could be called Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, we could call it Dodger Stadium of Phoenix.
Fair enough.
So American League, that's getting just all kinds of crazy too.
Yeah.
So how exciting would it be for the MLB for the Yankees and the Red Sox to have that 1-game playoff?
Yep.
They're just going, yep, woo.
First thing I mentioned on my radio show last Sunday is how crazy would it be if we got it again? If we got Yankees, Red Sox 1-game playoff, Chris Sale versus Garrett Cole.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a PR dream for the MLB, like you said. And it's going to be good baseball. It's not like it was 10, no, like 7 years ago when both the Red Sox and the Yankees were average at best. But I think now, yeah, it's firing on all cylinders. These guys know how to play in that division tight. I really think that the Yankees win streak, that 13-game win streak, even though they're on a 4-game skid right now, that streak completely changed the playoff picture in the American League because the Red Sox were the favorites and then you had the Rays heating up too. But I knew that the Red Sox didn't have it in them. I think the pitching wasn't really there and the offense couldn't stay consistent. And we saw that downfall. Now they're fighting for a second spot in the wild card, and Oakland Athletics 1 game behind. So it's super exciting, but I would like to see the classic rivalry Yankees Red Sox.
as would I. But, but, and I said this the other day in one of my Around the Diamonds in 90 seconds, and I believe you commented on it. How cool would it be? I mean, there's something in the water up there in Seattle right now.
Mhm.
How cool would it be for the M's to knock off one of those teams?
I think really cool. And you break what is it now? It's got to be 17 or what is it? Like it's a 20-year dry spell right now, right? Like or
Yeah,
more. I
yeah.
think they're due for it. Jonah Depota, GM for the Mariners, has done a fantastic job with the pool of talent he's had, even though making the mistake, like us Dodger fans know all too well, Chris Taylor for Zach Lee, complete steal for the Dodgers. I think that the players he's had, the roster he has, it is a miracle that they are an over 500 team. And they've had rookie of the year candidates. They've had great pitchers in the past as well. I would like to see it and I'd like to fantasize about it. It's only 3 games, so it is in the realm of possibilities. It's not a miracle, but when you look at the Athletics and the Red Sox Yankees, I just can't put the Mariners in the same room as those teams. I'm sorry.
You can't. So the Mariners only have 28 games left.
Yeah. And look at the run differential. So you mentioned that earlier.
Mhm.
Mariners 3 games back, minus 56 run differential. That should be a under 500 team, but they're in playoff contention. They've won so many close games. It's unbelievable. But at this point in the season, anything could happen, really. So I just
So
thought that's worth a look.
so check this out. And I'm not advocating the Mariners. I'm not a Mariner fan, but check this out for a second. The Mariners beat the Astros today 1-0.
Okay.
Okay. They beat the Astros yesterday. Okay. They have a day off tomorrow. They travel to Arizona for 3 games. Okay. Then they go to Houston and play the Asterix again for 3. Then they get a day off and they come home to play Arizona again for 3.
Really, they have 6 games against AZ. Wow.
Yeah. And then they play 3 games against Boston. They have another day off. And then they play the Royals for 3 games.
Wow.
The Royals for 3 games, right? But then here's where it gets tricky. Middle of the month, or middle towards the end of the month, 21st through the 23rd, is in Oakland for 4 games.
Okay.
That's where it gets tricky. Then the Angels in Anaheim for 3. then Oakland for 3 at home, and they finish with 3 with the Angels.
Okay.
So the Angels can play spoiler. That last week and a half of September between Oakland and Seattle, there's the games to watch. But when you're talking about six games with AZ and 3 games with the Royals, you're lighting something up here where you're making it a little bit more attractive.
Yeah, and you have to see the other side of it too. Red Sox with that second spot, they're playing divisional. Playing in the best, most competitive division in the MLB. So it only goes the other way for them. But I would say too. Oh, what do you got to say? I know the Orioles. I know there's the Orioles there, but I still think
before
the
you
other
say
one.
that, the Red Sox play Tampa Bay tonight and tomorrow. Then they play Cleveland at home and Tampa Bay at home. Then they have 3 with the White Sox in Chicago, 3 with the M's, three with the Orioles, a day off on a Monday, the 22nd or the 20th, 2 with the Mets, and then another day off, 3 with the Yankees, 3 with the Orioles, and then 3 with the Nationals. So of their last 10 games of the season, 6 of them are played with teams that aren't in the playoff picture. And so it gets a little light. I mean,
Wow.
tell me I'm wrong, but
no, you're not. That's totally right. I would say for sure. And then when it's the Orioles too,
yeah,
we've seen how that goes.
Man, it's fun to watch the Orioles when the Orioles are good, but it's just
Don't you miss the JJ Hardy, Adam Jones, Chris Davis era? That's like what I grew up on. Like I was super young baseball fan. Orioles were like the gold standard almost, really.
Mhm. And the Yankees finished their last 3 games at home of the season are against Tampa Bay. So if we are close, they have 7 more games with Tampa Bay, by the way.
Yeah.
So there's still an opportunity for them to catch the division. Highly unlikely, but still a chance to catch the division, right? But yeah, that's disgusting. See the A's have a lot. They have Tampa Bay. They still have 3 with Tampa Bay. They still have 4, 7 with the Mariners. They still got 6 with the Astros. They've got the toughest schedule. So yeah, my money right now is saying that we're just gonna have a good time.
It'll be fun no matter what. I think so, but I think you make a pretty good case. I have to say, you convinced me. Mariners legit chance.
So how cool would it be for baseball? I know the Red Sox, Yankees, and listen, the Red Sox, Yankees. What was it? A couple of years ago, where the Red Sox had one of the worst records in baseball, yet they always had the Sunday night game of the week because they were playing the Yankees or whoever. I get the Red Sox, Yankees. I get it. I'm a fan of that too. Okay, because it's always a fight. There's always something fun to watch. Great talent in baseball. But how good would it be for baseball if the Mariners win a wild card spot, who haven't been in the playoffs for, I don't know, 60, 75 years, something like that. And on the other side, the Reds win a playoff spot 2 times in the last 2 years. Now, if they match up against the Dodgers in that 1-game wild card, good luck. If they match up against the Giants, they got a shot. But then they go to the divisional series with the Dodgers, and sorry.
It's a beatdown.
Yeah. Sorry, here it comes. Beat Scherzer, Urias, and Bueller all in one row.
And then Kershaw just like on hand.
Yeah, and Kershaw just hanging out just in case. So.
Right. It's funny, like you say that, because I remember on my show, we talked about the playoff rotation for the Dodgers. And then a little bit later, the ESPN broadcast, they did their own. And they were closer to yours, I believe, with Scherzer leading off. Then you have Bueller, then Kershaw. So yeah, it was definitely interesting to see that. But anyway, going back to the playoffs, I do think it's good for the game that we see new teams. And I think baseball, there is some ebbs and flows with who makes it and who doesn't, not as much as other sports, maybe like basketball, where you have 16 seed or like 8 seeds really. And then football, who just expanded as well. And they have about 3 new playoff teams a year. But baseball, I would say there's less deviation than other sports here in America. But I do think it is time when you're thinking 20 years for a fan base to not see a team in the playoffs, even if it's a wild card. it gets a little ridiculous. And I think that those teams have an obligation and they strive to prove themselves in these spots. So I think even if they do get beat down by the number one seeds, definitely fun to see new faces, new uniforms, and new storylines.
I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more. Baseball is fun, and it's fun to see see the new teams climb up. I mean, I feel bad. The Orioles have history, right? I mean, they were great in the 70s and 80s, won a World Series, right? They got great history, but they just haven't been all that fantastic over the last several years. And you feel bad for those teams. You feel bad for the Kansas Cities. You feel bad for, I mean, and no disrespect to these teams, but let's just say, for example, Kansas City was in the world. Well, let's say Baltimore made the World Series and they were going to play Arizona. Who's watching that?
Nobody.
People in
It'd be like,
Baltimore and people in Phoenix. That's it.
yeah,
Right. Everybody else is going, when does spring training start? I'll set my watch.
right.
Right. But when you have the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, the White Sox, or the Cubs, either one, unfortunately, the St. Louis Cardinals, even the Detroit Tigers with their history, when you have those teams in it, people are watching.
Always, always. And so, do we want to talk about that or our
Yeah.
way too early World Series and NLCS matchup? Where do we want to start here? Do we want to do a full bracket? It's all up
Go
to
ahead.
you. I don't want to run your show. Yeah.
No. Let's do it. You know what, Top Fans, this is gonna be fun. We hadn't planned on this. Let's do a 30 days out bracket with. How about we do this? We do a 30 days out bracket. This will be fun. Okay. We have the right to change it when the playoffs start, you and I, and the winner buys the other one in and out.
Whoa. Okay. Okay.
You in?
Okay. All right. Here. I'm just gonna pull up something really quick, like a bracket, and let's see if
Yeah.
I could remember a bracket. Okay.
You got it. So
Okay. Do you want to start with the National
I'm writing
League
your
here?
stuff down and I'll go with mine and yours. Actually,
Okay.
we'll
So
make
how do
Annie, since she didn't make the show tonight, Annie buys one of us in and out.
deal,
Uh,
deal.
there
So
you go.
here's
Annie,
how.
when you watch this, Annie, you owe us in and out. Both
Oh
of us.
my gosh. Okay, so how I think it should work is it's a point system. So each round is one more point.
Okay,
So
points.
wild card one, NLDS two, right, and then CS three, World Series four.
Okay.
And
Sounds
so
good.
everyone that's right, you get a point. Okay, so my
So
wild
cards.
card, Giants versus Reds. Giants win, and then they'll play the Dodgers. Dodgers beat the Giants in the division series.
Hold on a second.
Dodgers,
Hold on. Giant Reds
or
win.
just no, Giants win.
Giants win. Got it.
All right, and
Okay.
then just write the Dodgers across the board. I believe they make it to the World Series again and they repeat. So there's
Okay, Dodgers, Giants, and then who do you have in that other divisional series?
it's going to be, you know what? I think that the Braves will win it. So I'll say it's Braves versus the Brewers, and then the Brewers win. They advance to the championship series.
Okay, and since so you have Dodgers, Brewers.
Dodgers Brewers 2018 rematch. Yes,
Okay, and you have Dodgers winning that going to the World Series.
that's right.
Okay. All right. So here you go. Wild card, Giants, Reds. No change there.
Okay.
Okay. I have the Reds winning that. Okay.
It's a good upset.
I got Dodgers, Reds. I got Dodgers winning that series. Here you go. I got Philly. Okay. I thought it was going to be the Braves, but I got Philly versus the Brewers. And I got the Brewers winning that. Okay, they're just too doggone good right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
A 5-game series with that rotation. Yeah.
I got Dodgers, Brewers. I got Dodgers winning that. Okay, that's that. Oops. I got Dodgers winning that.
Okay.
Okay, so
AL
that's
now?
the National League.
Okay. All right. So for my AL wild card is going to be Yankees, Red Sox.
Okay, AL. So Yankees, Red Sox.
And then the Yankees will advance to play the Rays.
Okay. Rays, Yanks.
And then on that other bracket in the division series, White Sox are going to play the Astros.
Astros. Got it.
And then championship series. Oh, I got to think about this. Did the Yankees finally break the seal and beat the Rays? No, it's going to be Yankees, Astros championship series. They'll run it back.
Okay. And then who
And
goes to the World Series?
Yankees, Dodgers.
Ah,
The MLB is not paying me, Bill. I promise. I promise you.
woo. Okay, got it. So you got LA, New York. Okay. Got
Wouldn't
it.
have it any other way.
Okay, so here you go. My wild cards. Mine are slightly different than yours. Okay. Yankees, Seattle.
Good man.
Yankees unfortunately are gonna take that. Seattle, thanks for playing. Rays, Yankees. I've got the Yankees winning that. A little bit more experience. People sometimes are nervous about the name on the front of the jersey, right?
Mhm.
I got White Sox, Astros. I've got White Sox winning that. Then I've got Yankees, White Sox. And as much as I want to see a rivalry of historic fashions, the White
Mhm.
Sox win that. And
Wow.
so I've got the White Sox and Dodgers in the World Series, and I've got the Dodgers repeating.
Good man.
And who, or do you have the Dodgers repeating, or do you think the Yankees take it?
I don't know. I think I have to say the Dodgers. I got my Dodgers shirt on right now. I just bought my throwback 1980 Dodger shirt from 47. So I think
Okay,
the
so
Dodgers, yeah, I think the Dodgers do repeat. And it's funny that we had such similar ones, but I respect the list. It's really good.
the final that we'll do this again after the season ends, and that's when Annie will buy us the In-N-Out that we're volunteering her for. Okay. But right now, just for bragging rights, we're gonna see who gets the most points leading into the playoffs. You and I both have Giants and Reds, White Sox, or yeah, in the National League
That's right.
division. You got Giants, Dodgers winning that. Braves, Brewers, Brewers winning that. Dodgers beating the Brewers, going World Series. I've
Mhm.
got Giants, Reds winning that. Dodgers, Reds, Dodgers winning that. Brewers, Philly, Brewers winning that. Dodgers beating the Brewers. On the other side of the coin, you've got Yanks, Red Sox, Yanks winning that. Yanks beating the Rays, White Sox losing to the Astros, and then the Yankees going to the World Series against the Dodgers. Although I wouldn't be disappointed in that. I've got Yanks, Seattle, Rays, New York. I've got New York winning that. I got White Sox over Asterix. So then we've got the Yankees and Astros. I'm sorry, the Yankees and
White
White Sox,
Sox.
with the White Sox winning that and going to the World Series.
Solid.
It's right here. It's
Yeah,
all right here.
that's gonna be so exciting to play. I've never really done like a week or a month really in advance, so we'll see how sharp we are, Bill. I think that we will be in the realm of like 80% accurate, though. There's not too much going on in the MLB anyway, so
Well, listen, this is all kind of fun. So top fans, you guys are welcome after you watch this. You are welcome to tell us if we're right or not. And I'm thinking that we're not going to get a lot of buy-in from Kansas City Royals fans or Diamondbacks fans, but hey, you guys can buy in 2027 when you got a team.
wow.
All right,
Wow.
Chris, thank you so much for joining the clubhouse. You need to come back next month, right? At about the same time next month when we know what the pitcher set, and we'll redo our thing. But as for now, Annie, when you see this, this is going to cost you In-N-Out for somebody. I don't know who it is. You bring your credit card, Annie. We'll be bringing our stomachs. How's that?
I can't complain, and she'll be really excited. I'll let her know. I'll make her watch this, and she'll be pleasantly surprised when this finishes up.
We'll put it in a text message in a group text here in a second. You owe Chris and I In-N-Out. Anyways, top fans, if you don't do it, Sports Sunday, KOCI, Chris and Annie are on. You guys are on from 3 to 5, correct?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. If you can't catch it, if you're not local in Orange County and you can't catch it, you can always go to their website and watch it real time or listen to it real time. So top fans, I would encourage you. Chris and Annie do a great job.
That's
Like
right.
I say, I've been a call-in on their show. I've been a guest on their show. And hopefully at some point I'll be in studio with them again. So Top fans, enjoy it. Chris, thanks for coming on tonight.
Of course, it was a pleasure as always. Love talking baseball. I think it only makes it more exciting when you have these great races and we could break it down like we did. So it's going to be exciting who wins in and out. We have pretty similar brackets, so it's going to come down to a series. It really is going to come down to probably that championship series there in the American League, but I'm pretty confident in my double-double there.
Well, listen, I could bust you up real easy. I could bust you up with the Reds beating the Giants, right?
Yeah.
Or even Seattle getting in. But of course, you and I both chose the Yankees. So that's it. Anyways, all right, Chris, thanks so much. Top fans, feel free to subscribe, make comments. Chris and I are just two guys just talking baseball, and we gotta love it. Chris, thanks again, and join us soon. Okay.